The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
I once had this lady who called me up, a simple lady in her 40s. She had cancer, and the cancer had spread and metastasized to every one of her major organs. It was surrounded by like a film of cancer. And she called me and she said to me, the doctors say I have about 3 weeks to live. It's holding by the end. Can you help me? I said, of course. I said, are you ready to climb Mount Everest? You have to know, to climb Mount Everest, you just can't decide one day you're going and tomorrow you start climbing. You have to train. You have to build up stamina. You have to learn how to breathe in heights or you'll die. You know how many people die a year climbing Mount Everest? And you have to have a Sherpa guide. Sherpa guide is a special guide. People live on the mountain and they train you, they prepare all your needs, they get mules, pack mules to carry the stuff. It's amazing. I read stories about people who've done this. It's just a tremendous undertaking. And I said to the lady, do you have it within you to climb Mount Everest? Because that's what it's going to take from you. She called me back, I told her to think about it. If you can't do it, it's fine. But if you want to do it, I'll be there for you. And she said, I want to do it. She called me back 24 hours later. I want to do it. I said, we're going to go back to the beginning of your life. And this lady was so sick. Talking to her about the beginning of her life was like talking to her about Mars. But we spoke. And we spoke. And she went back to the beginning of her life. We started doing Teshuvah. She came from a modern background, very Zionistic. She thought that Zionism was the end all. That Zionism was Keneged Kulam. That was what she thought. I told her, don't you have the same siddur that I have? It says Talmud Torah Keneged Kulam. It says Elu Devarim, gives you a whole list of mitzvahs. Doesn't say anywhere Zionism. I missed that one. She was a very strong woman. She didn't give in easily, and we fought. I remember one of the things we fought early on is that she refused to wear stockings and cover her feet. Now, when I was speaking to her, it was like 3 weeks after Sukkot. The winter was setting in, and I told her, in the winter, do you walk around without socks? Even if people don't wear socks in the summer, wear socks in the winter, because it's cold. She said, yeah, wear socks. I said, could you be makabel to wear socks in the summer? She said, no, I'm not going to. I said, you're not going to be living in the summer. What are you being so stubborn about? Just give in to me. No, I'm not going to do it. It's on principle. And we fought, and I explained. She argued, and I explained again. And I explained, and she finally said, okay, I accept. From now on, I will cover my feet. I explained to her why you have to cover your feet. What's the concept of tznius? She didn't grow up that way. She wasn't aware. She was a successful woman. She had a business. And this lady turned her life around like you can't imagine. I can't imagine. 3 weeks passed by, and I said to her, Sharon, we're still talking. And she kept on going back to the doctor. And the doctor told her at one point in time, Sharon, I don't like deathbed heroics. You're fighting it. What are you fighting? Just accept it. It's time to go. So she called me up. She said, Rabbi Brog, what should I say to him? I said, tell the doctor you're looking forward to, hopefully, getting a ringside seat by his funeral. That's what you're looking forward to. And then she went to covering her hair. Oh, was that trust me, to go from sneeze to covering her ear to doing chesed. I told her, you're going to do chesed with your letzte keiches. She didn't like people knocking on her door. She didn't want Mishulachim knocking on her door. I said, you're going to do chesed. She got a box of fruit and put it on one side of her doorway, and a case of water and put it on the other side of her doorway. So that every Mishulach that comes in, take a fruit and take a thing of water. She could barely walk. She would not stop. It's Kaitzer was not stop. And she fought. And she fought. And she became a tzadekis. Started giving shurim on the phone every night until she went around to the schools in Toronto and she spoke in the schools. I told her to go to every modern school and be mechazik them, introduce them to Hashem, tell them about Bitachon, about Amunah. And she had did the Shmaya. It was unbelievable what she had. And the Yitzhara called her up, trying to get involved over here. And Yitzhara told her, you should try some guy in Mexico. He's got these funny vitamins, great vitamins. Oh, he's got a great thing. I told her, get that nut off of your phone, tell your friends you're not friends. She had friends that brought her comedy shows to watch. She says to me, this is not what you're supposed to be doing now, right? Is that correct? I said, you're steiging. You understand that? I said, you know what that is? For you to steig, to understand, it doesn't even speak to her. She was listening to shiurim a whole day and night, and she was steiging, unbelievable. And a year went by. And another year went by. And then another year went by. And we decided it's time for us to meet. We got to see each other. Come for Shabbos. Made up to meet here, to meet there. We never met. Hashem never brought it together. But wow. And then she was holding the last week of her life. And I told her, you're leaving this world a tycoon. When I met you, you were a decrepit pauper. You were garnished. You were like somebody from the camps. And now, you're a giant. And it was a Wednesday. They called when they said she was going to die on Wednesday. And I said, she's not dying on Wednesday. She's not going to die before Friday. He said, how do you know? The doctor says, you're not even here in Toronto in the hospital. I said, she's dying on Friday. You'll see. I said, Tzadekis, that lady prepared herself. She did Teshuvah. She turned her life inside out. She climbed Mount Everest. She learned about Amunah and Bitachon in Hashem. You can't imagine. I said, she's going to die on Friday, because it says, if you die on Friday, you're spared from Chibut HaKever. And she died Friday morning. And he wanted to postpone Levi till Sunday, so I should come. And I said, bury her on Friday. She has that schus, bury her on Friday. And I'm sure she's having gelichtig Gan Eden. But you got to rise to the occasion to have the Amunah Bitachon. The Amunah Bitachon is the key.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org